Hello YouTube, we're doing some more disassembly on the little John Deere 70. Now we got it inside. We do have quite a bit of room in here. It's a little crowded. Our tool cart's a little too close to the wood stove, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not a danger for anything catching on fire, but yeah, it's quite a bit of room in here. We thought we'd show you a little bit of how this comes apart. We need more room. That big engine's gonna need like 19 to 20 inches. We've only got like 17, so eventually we get down, we'll show you. We're going to try to move the steering box. That's what's in our way. Width-wise, we seem to be okay. This is the battery tray. It had a bunch of bolts in it. Okay, we'll take that out. And we did take this motor. There's a motor plate on here, and I cut this bracket off of here. It had like rubber mounts. There's still a piece hanging in there somewhere. Okay. There's 4 screws hold this whole piece on. Okay. And I take my little nice keen cutter chisel and chisel off some screws to get rid of this. We have a tub, a tote to put all our parts in. We have a bucket out in the shop. This, I swear, was factory hose clamped to here. See that? Don't want to cut my fingers. That'll be garbage. Okay, we used our trusty puller, some penetrating spray, and we got the steering wheel to come off. There's a center cap goes in there. Okay, if we had to shorten this column, I think we can get away with it. We thought about if we have to move the column, maybe we could put a U-joint in here and shorten it. I don't know what it's like down on the other end, whether this tube comes off, but that's all it is. It's no bearing. It's just a plastic bushing. Just think, it's been here since 1970, whatever. There you go. And then that comes off. I don't know if all the John Deeres are the same, but we're going to do a little sweeping up. We're trying to get too much mess on the floor. We're going to put a tarp down on some cardboard in case we get anything oily. I have no idea what these 4 bolts are. All I know is this big pulley system. Because you have one belt goes to the pulley, and then it's got a spring tightener, you know, idler thing. Then one goes to the transaxle. And that's this big unit. Might as well show it. See that? It spins on a shaft. See that? I don't want to use that. I don't want to have to use that because you're changing too much gear reduction stuff. I want to go straight from the motor, the engine, or it's an engine, to the transaxle. Okay? This had a vertical shaft motor, so that's what they did. The one belt goes, see it? When the other belt went on there, it twisted and went to the vertical shaft. A lot of people don't realize that some of these mowers, they all got a horizontal, old stuff horizontal for the shaft, for the belt. You know what I mean? I'm stuttering here. You know what I mean? But then the motor's vertical, so it kind of fools you. So we're trying to convert it to a horizontal shaft 8-horse Honda, in case somebody's not been following this project. We'll pause here. We don't want this to be a long video, but we wanted to show some of the disassembly of this in case somebody wants to tackle something like this. I'm assuming the John Deere 112 and stuff is pretty close to how this works. Okay, welcome back YouTube. It's been a few days on this since I've been working on this project. Neighbor came over to Sawzall and helped me get this piece out. This is what the steering column was mounted to in here. So it's set about that far ahead, so you can see how much it was in the way. We're going to probably have to take about 3 inches out of here. But that's how it was mounted. See those 3 holes? 1, 2, 3. So we can make almost any mount we want. Of course, you know that was the top, and we bent this all out of the way. We want to show what the steering column looks like. And we found a piece to make a bushing on it. It already had the hole almost approximate outside of it if we want to make another bushing. But this is probably going to be chopped down with a swivel joint. It's probably going to be moved back. Okay, here's the steering sector, I call it. And this does not move very far. If you look at this where it is right now, if you put it over to the right, that's the full travel. It does not travel only so far. So we almost could stand this straight up and down if we had to, and then put a swivel on it. What we'd probably do is go about so far up here, chop it, put the bushing, then have the shaft come up another few inches, cut it off, and then weld one of those U-joints in it. I looked up those U-joints. That was $40 at the hot rod store, like for your steering in your car, to about a cheapy $25 on Amazon. So this will be cut out probably right here's the back. We're probably going to cut it out about right here. We want everything out of our way. We're going to start from scratch. This can be all open when we're done, because if we don't put a battery on it so well, we might be able to find a battery tray. So you can see by looking down here how far the engine sticks out. Now this will be all removed, so we don't see much problem with the tank not fitting under the hood, even though that hood is smaller hood lengthwise than my John Deere 112. If there is a problem, we're just going to get another tank. If I did, I'd sure like to find somebody who wanted this tank. I mean, it's brand new inside. The gas looks a little yellow what's left. We drained it out when we stored this, but here's my clutch. We machined this with a hacksaw. We bought this way back in 2011. An extra bushing when we did the one on our John Deere, the Greyhound motor. So we did the old trick with the scribe line and the hacksaw, and because we want a big washer on it so the clutch can't come apart. Now I know on the inside there's a chance that the snap ring could come off, and nothing we can do about it. Here's the problem with it. 1-inch shaft, that's like 1/16. See how much wasted space we have? But the motor's not going to set too far out of whack. It's going to hang out where the rope cover is. That's going to look normal anyway, because they usually stick out of the side of a riding lawnmower. It's horizontal. So not too much problem there with the clutch. But I think it's 3/24, we don't know. Kind of rushing through this. And next time you will see this removed, the fenders, and I think, now I watched one of these being restored. Just said plug yours. This is supposed to come off here. This whole cover, bolts. They had it off there on the John Deere 70. So the fenders, this part of the bodies come off. That will give us access where you'll be able to see better the transaxle down there. So that's something to look forward to for me, and maybe you in the next video, what it looks like down in the rear end. The brakes on one side, the pulleys over here. To put a belt from there, approximately here to here, is going to be a big long belt. Like I said, we don't want to have to use a jack shaft. We'll be having to have help finding out gear ratios as we do that. Where I go to the farm store, a lot of farm equipment, they had a lot of belts. You see that's like 3 foot distance? Well, that's 72 inches, plus you gotta go around some pulleys. Let's say it ended up being like an 80-inch belt. I think I can get a belt that long. I really do. Because a lot of farm implements and machinery used to use some pretty good sized belts. But I have to go 1/2 inch. I don't think I can go 5/8 unless I find another pulley for the transaxle, because we know it's 1/2 inch. In fact, it has a wrong belt on it. That's like a fan belt off a car, 3/8. That's too small of a belt. Someone put too small a belt on that pulley. So, thanks for watching. We'll leave you a couple photos of what it looks like so far.